Hey everybody, good evening. I'm back on here again because I figured I got some work to do that might be kind of interesting for you guys to watch. And Petunia, who's sitting here, she might even help me with it. She's not in frame right now, but she's right out of frame. But I figured, yeah, I've got to fix this, and I have to fix it in time for my show this Sunday here in New York at the Green Room 42. I'm performing my tribute to Queen. That I'm very excited about, and I've had this thing happening when I was doing my Rocky Horror shows this October. There were a bunch of there was something going on, and I was right. I was correct in my assessment of what it was. Pretty easy to figure out, but I didn't have the opportunity to fix it while I was there, and so I ended up in many of the shows I wasn't using the amplifier's onboard reverb. Thankfully, I have other options for that, like some really amazing pedals. A company, actually, Chase Bliss makes a really amazing reverb called the Dark World Reverb, which I love, and so I use that in conjunction with a bunch of other things for most of the Rocky Horror stuff. But I love the amp reverb in the Magnatone panoramic stereo. So it just with all the traveling I've been doing, the reverb, one of the springs in the reverb tank had detached, and I tried to reattach it, but there's a piece missing that I can't seem to locate. I don't know exactly where it went, so so I figured it'd be best to just buy a whole other reverb tank. So I've got that here, and it should be a fairly easy installation too. Yeah, you can see the pet, but we let her do her own thing. So, but I think she'll come into frame at some point. Do you want to come into frame, Petunia? Do you want to walk over here? You want to smell this? Maybe if she smells it, you'll see her. You want to smell this? Yeah, there you go. It's good. Alright. Nice. So this one, it'd be kind of interesting because this is, I guess, some people have said it's a slightly higher quality tank, which is kind of cool. But it's gonna have a slightly different decay time too, I think, which is cool. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's potentially as long as like a second and a half longer. So I don't know if I'm gonna prefer that or not, but at least I'll know. I'll be able to hear it. And yeah, this is a very easy switch because it doesn't require any soldering or anything like that. But I thought for those of you who haven't seen this sort of thing before, it could be kind of interesting. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's like changing a light bulb exactly, but it's pretty much just as easy. But thankfully, you don't have to change these as often, usually. It's just that all of the flying I've been doing with my amp, because I like to bring my own gear. I like to use backline as little as I can, just because I love Magnatone amps, and they don't always have them easily available through rental companies. So I like, and also just, my own, they all sound a little bit different anyway, so it's great to have the one that your own. Nice cat. I mean, she is about the size of a cat, Petunia, but she's a dog. Oh, this is pretty simple stuff, yeah, but yeah, this, any of you guys could do this, I think, even if you don't play music, but yeah. All right. So yeah, this shouldn't be too long at all, actually, thankfully. Make sure I put this the right way, though. The sticker's on differently there. Okay. This seems right though. Why am I looking at this? Okay. Yeah. Not that it would matter. It shouldn't matter, I don't think, if you put it in the opposite way. I don't think. Okay. It's been a long time since I changed the reverb tank. Thankfully, they hold up pretty well usually. But you watch these things when flying down the belt at the airport, and it's like, oh boy! Even in a great case like the one I have. Shout out to Encore Cases. If you need a great case, check them out. Encore Cases in. Oh, there are all those screws that I think I need. Where are they based now? I think Sunland. Sunland, California. parts. Yeah, this thing definitely took a beating this past year. What is this? My movie. I don't think I was in a movie called Me Before You, but maybe that's a joke. What is that? What is Me Before You? Anybody know? I do not know. Okay, that's there. That's good. It looks like they had this screwed in through cardboard. No, maybe. Yeah, that's the hard part to determine because it's been rattling around so long. I don't know. This is like mukbang for guitar players. Can't determine if I even need these. Maybe. So those are apparently. Wow. I don't know how those shook loose. Oh yeah. So if you guys, if you're in New York and you're here this weekend, I've got a concert on Sunday night at 7 p.m. at the Green Room 42 Eastern Time, and I'm really excited because people are asking me. I've never done it in New York yet exactly this way. I've done this concert in the way I'm doing it on Sunday. I've done it in Los Angeles, in Detroit, and in Indianapolis. But this is my first time doing it this way here. I'm really excited. I mean, it's a lot of it's the same, but there's some really cool added things that I've developed over the time. And so if you're around in the city, 7 p.m., but you can also get a live stream ticket, which will allow you to watch it whenever you want within like a week or two. And so yeah, if you don't have your tickets yet, you can get them. I think the live stream tickets are available up until like, I don't know, maybe 3 hours before the show time. So if you want one of those, maybe get that as soon as you can. But yeah, I'm excited to do it because this is one of the shows that I do that people have asked me about a lot. Like, oh, when are you doing that one again? I'm bummed I missed out on that one. So I'm hoping that they'll catch it this time. All right. These screws probably. It's just hard to know. These screws were all loose in because of all the traveling, so I'm not actually sure if they belong anywhere. Got to find out. It seems like an odd thing to screw a piece of cardboard into metal, but it seems like that's what they've done here. I guess. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem to hold, so maybe not. I don't know what these screws are for. Take a look and see if there's some other screw here. I don't know. Looks like they were used for that, but I don't know why. Let's see. Doesn't really make any sense. You guys ever screwed cardboard into metal before? Yeah, I'm just essentially just looking at these two things side by side to see what the differences are, and I don't see these screws anywhere in the new version. And I've taken these from the old one, but they don't appear. It doesn't seem to add up why you would be screwing a piece of cardboard into a piece of metal. So maybe they were not used at all. Maybe they were floating around. I don't know. They must have belonged to something, but I can't determine. I haven't determined that yet. You mind holding this, Virginia? I don't know, this is very weird. Maybe? It kind of holds. This is such a strange thing. Yeah, like I said, I've changed reverb tanks before. It's been a long time, but I don't recall ever screwing in a piece of cardboard into the tank itself, so this is new for me. But it appears that's what they had done here for some reason. Okay, well, there seems to be one screw missing though. This is hiding in here. I don't think that's a screw. All right. Okay. Well, unless I can find it in here, then I don't know if there was another screw. Oh wait, I think I found it. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll show you this after I screw this. It's just strange because there are no nuts or washers. Just very tiny screws, not really mounted fully. Don't know why. Maybe they did it the other way around. Might try that and see if that's more stable. So right now it looks like this, but I don't know, I've never seen anything like that with cardboard. Anybody on here ever seen that? Is that better or worse? I don't know. Well, you know what? That does make sense. If this is the flat side, I'm going to stick with my original plan. It makes more sense. Still pretty weird. Yeah, no, someone said look up how on WikiHow. That's not exactly, it's just, this is a choice that they made. It's not really standard. I haven't seen this done this way before. But for some reason, I think it's just the choice of the manufacturer to do something a bit non-conventional. Nice. Show your face, Petunia. You want to turn around? They're going to build robots and make musical filled with only robots instead of actors. I don't know if I think there may be someone beating us all to that. I wouldn't be... I mean, it might be interesting to see one production like that, but I wouldn't be very interested to watch... If that became a regular thing, I wouldn't be particularly interested in seeing that, I don't think. Petunia is Harry Potter's aunt. Ooh. Nothing more relaxing than watching someone fix stuff. Yeah, it's good when you're able to fix it. The cool thing is this might have a... I might even prefer the sound of this particular reverb to the original, which would be pretty cool. We'll see. Sorry, I should have played that first. There we go. Where do you obtain Petunia? Oof. Sorry. Yeah, the crazy thing about reverb tanks, when they're not functioning properly, it's problematic because the way the sound is created by the vibrations that go through these springs here, and when one of them snaps off, whenever your amp moves, they make a splashing kind of sound, and so with one of them being loose, it's very hard to not activate those in a way that's not, it's creating a sound that you're not really looking for. So that's why I had to get this new one. But I think I'm looking forward to hearing it. Where's the hole here? That's it. Yeah, a little bit like ASMR. Yeah, I mean, I don't have those microphones, but I figured, I don't know if there are a lot of people, maybe not as many people as normal watching this, but I figured since I'm doing it, might as well come on here in case anyone was bored. And again, if you're in town this weekend or if you want to watch a live stream concert, I'm fixing this amp so that I can use it for my tribute to Queen this weekend, this Sunday night at the Green Room 42. Maybe I should do it the other way. Yeah, I think that was my problem. These screws are still really confusing to me. I don't understand why they're here. Very weird. It's pretty funny. Got that one. Where did those go? Seem to have misplaced one of those washers. Well. Find it. See if anyone had anything else. Anyone coming out here randomly is like, what the heck is going on? The problem now is that I usually use my phone as a flashlight. I've got this. Yeah, let me go get my big flashlight. Oh! I thought I had it where I thought I had it. Maybe it's in here. Be right back. If I can find it. Might not be able to. If I can, when in doubt. When in doubt, I can use my fog machine. Nice. There we go. Okay. Whoa. It's hard to get in here. This is where a right angle screwdriver would be useful. I can't remember where I put mine. Actually, I might have it right over here. Pretty good. Nice. Yes, that's Petunia walking around here. What's this like? Boom! Kind of cool, huh? Oh, these ones too. Let's see. Oh, nice. I pretty much emptied it, but there's some in there, I guess. You can do, nice. Oh, sorry, I should have warned you guys with that. All right, cool. Let's go. Okay. All right. Yeah, I always use my fog machine while fixing my equipment. I'm just kidding. But it's handy when you can't find your flashlight. It's actually kind of better than a flashlight in a way. And with the extra smoke, then you can't tell if your gear is malfunctioning or not. It's awesome. Okay. One time I had in Cleveland, Ohio, at the House of Blues. We were playing a concert with our band Carney, and I remember smelling this like burnt marshmallow smell. It smelled really good actually. And then I said it on the microphone. And next thing I know, I looked behind me, and my 1960s Echoplex was on fire. I was like, "Oh my!" So I had to turn that thing off quickly. Unfortunately, I got it repaired here in New York, in Brooklyn, but it never quite sounded the same because they had to replace the transformer. So it really, with a modern transformer, it seemed quite the same thing after that, unfortunately. But I have another one which is awesome too. Okay. Well, thank you to the 40 of you who have stuck through this, because I guess 40 people are interested in this, which is nice. Nice. Sad commentary on your... No, it's cool. I mean, there's certain videos sometimes I watch just because they're kind of relaxing while I'm doing something else. So maybe you guys are doing that too. Who knows? But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna answer in a second once I get this all put together here. I think it's pretty good. All right, but yeah. Let me see. But if you guys are, again, if you're in town in New York this weekend and you want to hear some music, and if you want to hear me in concert, and if you like Queen in particular, I'm doing my tribute to Queen at the Green Room 42 on Sunday, November 17th, this Sunday at 7 p.m. And I'm really excited because I haven't done it quite this way in New York yet. Some modifications I made to it. Yeah, what else? Oh, you can get a live stream ticket. So if you don't live in New York, or if you don't even if you don't live in America, you can get a live stream ticket and watch it anytime, I think, over the next week or two. So check that out. All right, cool. I'm going to turn this off now because we don't need this anymore at the moment. Great. Okay. All right, let me see. If you guys have any questions, now I can look at the screen more. Oh, thanks. Yeah, someone said they'd love to see me live. I don't know if you make it to New York. I try to play in New York once a month when I can. And other than that, I get around the country as much as I can. I don't. International's a little bit trickier just because there's so many like customs and different fees and stuff like that. It's a little bit trickier, and I don't necessarily have the connections outside of the country that I do here. But I'm definitely interested in doing more international performance. And so this tank has been in here since July 22nd, 2015. That's cool. I bought the amp in 2016, but I think they built it probably right around... Well, I don't know. They might have had this tank in their shop and probably built... Yeah, the amp was probably built pretty close to when I bought it. Alright, got that now. Why should I put that in there? Oh, let's do that again. Oh, when am I doing my own music for Room 42? Again, that's a good question. I'm hoping to do that in January. So I'm in the process of talking to them to see if they have anything available in January. And if they do, I'll be performing my own music in January. But I might actually slip one of my original songs in. I'm doing a set in December, which is a concert of... I've never done this before, but he's such a big influence on me since I was a kid. But Sting's music and the Police. I haven't done that yet, and I'm excited because I love all of his music. And so there's... I figured it would be an opportunity. Yeah, I think I might play one of my songs during that set that I think fits with those songs well. Rap? I don't know. I'm not that interested in doing rap, but yeah. Would I do cons again? Yeah, I would do. I haven't been asked to do one of those in a while, but I really enjoyed doing them. The conventions. Oh, the cup. Yeah, this is a really special cup. Eva got this for me. Originally, I think she got it at Fine and Dandy here in New York, and then I think that one broke, unfortunately, so she found this one somewhere else, thankfully, because I love this. It's my favorite mug. Yeah, I like goth, yeah. I don't know what you mean, your Guitar Hero. What's inside? I'm not sure what you're referring to. The amp, I just fixed a reverb tank, or I replaced a reverb tank in this amp, and I'm hoping that I really love the way it sounds, because the other one was acting crazy. It had a broken spring, and there was no real easy way to repair it, especially since they're not very expensive. These reverb tanks are like, depending on what kind you buy, they're usually between like $35 and $70, which at that point it's like the amount of what you'd have to get to fix it and the time spent doing that, it's really almost doesn't really make sense to try to fix one of those things in terms of what was going on with this particular one, so it made more sense to buy a new one. Have I ever played or wanted to play an unusual instrument? I don't know. I do play a bunch of different things, but I don't know what constitutes unusual. The amp's awesome. I just had to fix the reverb or replace the reverb tank. The spring had broken loose and was kind of detached from anything that I could reattach it to. So it had made more sense to get a new tank. And I think the brand I bought was something different. I have not tried yet, if I remember correctly. No, maybe I did get a pretty standard. Okay, I think I tried to go for the replacement that was closest to it, which is the brand Accutronics. Yeah, I'll stand here a little longer if you guys have any questions, but then I'm going to get back to practicing, because I'm a bit obsessive with practicing. I love doing it, and it's important to do for doing the best, giving the best performance that I can. Oh yeah, I do have a harp guitar, which is amazing. Uh, that's an incredible instrument. I should do a live on that sometime. But it's a regular acoustic guitar. It's honestly probably it's one of the best acoustic guitars I've ever played. This one, just the 6-string standard acoustic, but it has five sub bass strings that are, and so it's an 11-string guitar, and you can play the bass strings along with. I mean, you can tune them to whatever you want, really, but the one of the standard tunings for it. Guitar, the standard tuning is E, A, D, G, B, E, and on the standard sub bass strings on the harp guitar are tuned G, A, B, C, D. So then you go G, A, B, C, D, and you're straight into E, A, D, G, B, E. But it's kind of cool. I like playing it. When I first played it in the store at Retrofret here in Brooklyn, I got the... what was I going to say? It was tuned to open G, which is a tuning that Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones uses a lot, and that really worked well because the low G on the harp guitar, works really well with that open G tuning. But the other cool thing is that even if you're not using if you're not plucking the harp strings, the low subharmonic or sub bass strings, the sympathetic vibrations of those strings adds this richness of tone that is unlike anything I've ever heard on an acoustic guitar processing. It almost feels like you've already thrown it into a reverb chamber or added a plate reverb to it or something like that. It's really cool. It's almost similar to playing a piano with, well, not really the sustain pedal down, because it doesn't obscure the natural fundamental tones in the way that would do on a piano. but it gives you this really rich sympathetic vibration harmonics that are probably, I mean, I haven't really thought about this yet, but dozens of decibels quieter than the pitches you're actually striking when you're playing the instrument. So it's like, it's not in the way. I would say it's probably, maybe not dozens, but yeah, it's probably at least 12 or 14 dB below what the what you're playing. So it doesn't get in the way of that, which is really cool. Oh, do I have any advice against joint pain while playing the guitar? Yeah, I do. Just, if it starts hurting, stop playing. That's good advice, because I've had that same thing, and I had to look that up myself, because sometimes you get so carried away and so excited. I mean, there's some days when I'll be playing 6 or 8 hours a day, and it's like, I would say another thing, play on a guitar. If you're going to be playing that much a day, play on a guitar that has relatively, easy action. Because I was doing that on my 1938 017 Martin, which was not the smartest thing to do. I was playing 4 or 5 hours a day on that, doing really hard chord voicings, the big stretches, and it's like that. It's just unnecessary, because it's good that you can playing a couple hours a day on something like that is fine, but if you're playing that much, it can be that can start to tax your muscles and joints for unnecessarily. So yeah, find a guitar. I mean, the guitar I practice on the most here at home is my James Trussart Steelcaster, which I love. I've got to start playing that live. It's just that in the context of my solo shows, I find that I want something with a little bit of a thicker, different type of sound. But I might look into experimenting with some pickup options with that, so that I can start doing that more, because the natural tone of that instrument is really amazing. Yeah, I would say practicing, definitely on an instrument that doesn't have crazy uncomfortable action, and if it's maybe not going too crazy with the amount of hours per day. Oh yeah, I love playing Dorian Gray. That was amazing. The script, I mean, the writing was so incredible. You don't always get that sort of thing where it's where the vision is so strong and it's executed so well that that for me, I really enjoy that. Some actors, I mean, I've been asked to improvise. In House of Gucci, it was pretty awesome. A lot of what ended up on the screen in that film was improvisation, because Ridley Scott wanted us to improvise, which I didn't know when I got there. But first Dan said, it was like, hey, Adam Driver came in and just started improvising, which was pretty amazing. I didn't know that was my first day on set, and I really enjoyed that. But I also really enjoy when a writer is extremely particular about their words. And that's the way John Logan is, and I love that. I mean, I love, especially when you write at that level. It's like it feels like, I don't know. I mean, we didn't really do. I don't recall any improvisation in Penny Dreadful. Is there a role you would have loved to play in a movie that you didn't play? I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of things that you, as actors, you audition for, and then you either get or you don't get. But then, oftentimes, when I watch the project after, if I don't get something, when I watch it, I don't necessarily feel like it was something that, it ends up being a little bit different than I like. Yeah, the approach is so different to the way I would have done it and not just for the part that I auditioned for, but for so many of the other roles. They're different than I pictured them being, that it wouldn't necessarily be something that I think I would have enjoyed, if that makes any sense. Or, I think the visions just weren't aligned, so it makes sense in those situations. Which role, the play that I would like to reprise? Spider-Man would be a fun one. I actually think I may have had a dream recently where someone brought that back to Broadway. I was like, how are they? It would be really cool, but my gosh, that was a fun one. Is there a movie from before I was born that I would love to play in? I don't know, but I would have loved to work with Sidney Lumet. That would have been amazing. If you don't know that director, look him up. That would have been crazy. He was directing while I was acting, actually, but I was very young at that time, and actually, I think one of his last films, at that point I wasn't really acting again. Yeah, that was really just 100% focused on music then. But that would have been so cool. I didn't technically I wasn't in any scenes with Lady Gaga, so I didn't actually I haven't met her. But yeah, I haven't met her. We technically were with the same record label for a long time, Interscope Records. But I've never actually met her. Yeah, that would be fun to work with her, yeah. I haven't hated any roles. I think the thing you got to do as an actor, you got to do your best to prepare. I love preparing, and because it's such a collaborative process. Yeah, and I love. I think one of the things that I love about Sidney Lumet when I watch his work, it's very clear to me from the films, the filmmaking, and the final product that he really trusts his actors, and that's one of the things that I feel like that's important, because you hopefully you're hiring people who are self-motivated and are very interested in preparation and all that, and that I really enjoy working with people like that, and I like to do that. That's what I like to do myself. And I think it's very clear from watching Sidney Lumet's films that he trusts his actors from even the way he chooses to shoot things. Many times it's it doesn't always cut from close up to close up, close up, close up, close up. Where it's like, oh, we'll fix it in the edit. He didn't appear to ever be thinking that way. Like, we'll fix it in the edit. It appeared that he knew he would get. He trusted his actors to deliver on the script, and he captured a lot of magic in sort of a lot of wider kind of things that people sometimes even consider like master shots, or very often like 2 shots or 3 shots, whatever you want to refer to them as, but where multiple actors are you don't have the opportunity to cut between a bunch of close-ups in the edit later. How do I stay motivated? Well, I mean, there are a lot of things that I really enjoy doing, and so I just like to spend time on what I like doing when I can, and that's what I try to do. Is that? Oh yeah, has my music ever been directly influenced by a piece of art? Yeah, I mean, I'm very influenced by films when I write my music. Yeah. Yeah, advice for writing, in my opinion, use it. Use it. I don't know if a lot of people talk about this, but I had forgotten for a long time and kind of put it on the back burner. And then when I wrote my new song, America, which you guys have, maybe some of you have heard or a lot of you have heard, and if you haven't heard it, check it out. It's in that link in my bio too. But when writing that song, I remembered my old process, which very much includes a dictionary, a thesaurus, and a rhyming dictionary, and not just the internet version. For some reason, that's not useful to me really at all because you can't cross references easily. But having the actual books in hand, those are extremely useful because I mean, there's so much that you want to say. There might be a word that you want to say that is not rhyming with anything that you're, that will fit properly, but there very well may be a synonym of that word that does rhyme. And so having those to cross-reference is extremely valuable, in my opinion. I don't know if a lot of people do that these days, but maybe a little bit more of an old school thing. Melodies seem to be one of the first things really for me, and then the lyrics take the longest, tend to. Oh yeah. Well, I might stay here a couple more minutes, but then I'm going to get back to practicing. I should make a gaming channel. Yeah, I don't really play video games that much, so that's the thing. I'm mainly just practicing and writing and doing regular stuff that we all do, like paperwork stuff. Nice. American Horror Story. Yeah, I would definitely work on that. Something like that. I auditioned once for one of Ryan Murphy's things. Live stream at practice one day. Yeah, I don't. The thing is, that's a little harder because this, I can kind of talk while doing this. Talking while practicing is a bit harder. Yeah, the amp should be fixed. Plug it in a bit and see. But I mean, it still worked. It worked even without. I just had to bypass the reverb. But now it should work with the reverb. Thank you. The Tonys, yeah, I've been to the Tonys a few times, and they've been great. Thank you. I'm glad you like the Cincinnati sound. That's great. Are there movie genres you feel like you should do more of? I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of that fantasy type stuff, and the like otherworldly sort of thing, spiritual type. I enjoy that sort of thing probably the most. Well, doing that. I mean, I enjoy watching all kinds of things. But yeah, I don't know. Have I used Eilish perfume? No, I think that Eva has that though. Is it Billie Eilish? I think she has one of those. I forget who Will Connolly is. That sounds familiar. I should probably know who that is, but I'm spacing on that now. If I could, or would have auditioned for The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, who would I? I mean, that cast was so amazing, but like I think the one that I was most drawn to when I was watching the films was Aragorn. I was really into him. Well, yeah, oh yeah, can you watch my performance in another country? Yes, you absolutely can. If you go to the Green Room 42's website, I think it's the greenroom42.com, you can find the live stream option. And if you get a live stream ticket for my show on Sunday, you as far as I understand it, you're able to watch it as many times as you want over like the course of 1 or 2 weeks. I think maybe 1 week, but at any time you can watch it. So if you miss the actual live performance itself, you have a copy of that. Well, thank you guys for joining me on here. I'm gonna probably won't do another one of these before my show on Sunday, but now that this thing is back together, I'm gonna plug it in and start practicing. All right, you guys, have a great night.